Have you ever looked at your kitchenware and wondered about its spiritual journey, especially if you are aiming for a kosher home or visiting one? It is a practical question many Jewish teens encounter when exploring Kashrut, the Jewish dietary laws. Determining if your pots are kosher primarily depends on their history of use and the materials they are made from. If a pot has only ever been used for kosher food, it is considered kosher. However, if it has been used with non-kosher food, or if dairy and meat foods were cooked in it without proper separation, it generally requires a process called kashering to become kosher again, or sometimes it cannot be kashered at all. This concept comes from the principle that food imparts its status onto the vessel it is cooked in. Just as food can absorb flavors, Jewish law teaches that it can also absorb spiritual properties. So, if a pot has absorbed the essence of non-kosher food, or a mix of meat and dairy, it needs to be purified or replaced to maintain the sanctity of kosher cooking. The specific kashering method depends on how the pot absorbed the non-kosher elements, often mimicking the cooking process itself. To figure out the status of your pots first, consider their history. If they are brand new and unused, they are usually kosher after a simple immersion in a ritual bath called a mikveh, if they are made of metal or glass. If they have been used, identify what types of food have been prepared in them. Were they exclusively for kosher, parva foods like vegetables, or for a specific category like meat or dairy only? If a pot was used for non-kosher food, or for both meat and dairy, you will need to consult a rabbi. They can guide you on the specific kashering process required, which might involve boiling, intense heat, or immersion, depending on the material and previous use. For example, a metal pot used for non-kosher food might be kashered by performing hagalah, which is immersion in boiling water. This method effectively purges the absorbed non-kosher properties. However, earthenware or ceramic pots generally cannot be kashered once they have absorbed non-kosher substances, due to their porous nature. Also, remember that even if a pot is kashered, you will still need separate pots for meat and dairy, and ideally, separate sets for Passover. Understanding the journey of your pots helps you create a kitchen space that truly reflects your commitment to kosher living. By knowing their history and applying the right kashering techniques when necessary, you ensure that every meal prepared brings not just nourishment, but also spiritual harmony and adherence to Jewish tradition.
If this inspires you, like, subscribe, and join the journey.